So they were promised by Donald Trump at the weekend, and they have now come into effect. US tariffs of 10% on Chinese goods coming into the US imposed, and immediately China responding with its own tariffs of up to 15% on coal and liquefied natural gas imports from the US, and 10% tariffs on a range of other goods. All that after Trump, though, suspended his threat of 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada at the last minute, agreeing to a 30-day pause in return for concessions on border and crime enforcement. Well, earlier we spoke to our correspondent Yenna Lee in Beijing.
15% on coal and 10% on items such as crude oil, farm equipment and pickup trucks. Beijing is also launching a probe into Google, which is, by the way, virtually inaccessible here in China. It does seem like this is a response that's both measured and targeted. Let me explain the numbers, 10 to 15. They're quite in line with what Washington did first. And unlike Washington, China hasn't set this tariff across the board on all US items, only on these specific goods. Yet, the choice of these goods, they're goods that could potentially hurt Trump's electoral base and will have some kind of an impact on US inflation as well. Now, it does seem to appear that both sides have kind of shown their cards before getting down to business, so to speak. Indeed, the US president had left the door open for negotiations. A spokesperson from the White House indicated that a phone call between Presidents Trump and Xi Jinping could happen in the coming days. So for now, Trump's return to the White House has been a relatively soft landing for Beijing, avoiding that 60% flat tax Trump had promised on the campaign trail. But of course, things can change extremely quickly when it comes to US-China relations, and Trump has already warned that his tariffs could be even more severe than the 10% if Beijing plays too hard.